So, hello guys, and very good evening to one and all present here. Today, Supriya, has been announced as the host of the meet, and today's topic are very basic, like DOM and objects. So, these guys are here with me to answer the questions which I have for them. Also, I have few big questions, big practical questions for these guys, and they are going to solve it and they are going to explain it. Okay. And also, I'm really very sorry for not turning on my camera because of some issues. I hope you will understand. So let's start the meet without any delay. Okay. So my very first question goes to Kritika. Kritika, please explain me what is document object model and its function.
Okay, document object model, that is simply we called it as a DOM. So it is useful, it is used to connect with the HTML, CSS with the JavaScript to make an interaction website. So usually we use HTML, CSS. Inside that document, we will use the script model. To inside the script, we will use the JS format. So that is, it is a simpler way of using a DOM. And inside that, we will use to call the elements by document.create element, or and we use class and IDs to call that a particular tags or classes or IDs that element to into the DOM to make a functionality interaction with the UI. This is a simple version of what is DOM.
Yeah. So DOM is a document object model programming interface for HTML and XML documents. It represents the structure of document like a tree-like structure model, and it helps you to add some functionalities to your HTML tags. Okay. Well answered by Kritika. Now it's turn of Mahin. Mahin, can you tell me what is the difference between actual web page and the DOM page?
Actual web page and DOM page. Okay, so let me give you answer whatever I know. So actual web page, it means our whole HTML, whatever we have like inside the HTML tag we are writing. And the DOM web page, it means whatever thing we are handling via our JS code. In DOM, we are handling our some functionality via JavaScript to connect the HTML to the JavaScript. So I think that is the DOM web page wherever we handle our web page via JavaScript.
Okay. So, well answered by you. Let me summarize it. The actual web page and the document object page, document model page, are two different entities. One is the static one, and other one is the dynamic one. Dynamic simply means that we can add on the functionalities and we can control it, which means the DOM one. And the static one is our simple HTML document where we only write or do styling and all that stuff. Okay. So let's move to Karan. Karan, can you tell me how can I manipulate the DOM using JavaScript? Hello?
Okay, hello.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. So you are asking how can I like manipulate HTML through JavaScript,
How can you
with the help of DOM?
manipulate DOM? Yeah.
With the help of DOM, how can we manipulate HTML, right? Na? That is the question. Na?
How can
Okay.
we manipulate DOM using JavaScript?
Okay. So like DOM, like it is basically used to manipulate like if we want any dynamic thing inside a website. So that's why we use DOM, so that it can change the HTML structure of a whole website. So DOM is really used for that. If I give you some use cases or examples for that, so we can simply create any element with the help of the DOM inside JavaScript, so that we can change, like we can render any, we can append any new element inside a web page. Then also we can update our data, like we can update our like elements which are already present in HTML. We can update them with the help of DOM. So these are all the things through which we can manipulate DOM. And there are some syntaxes like document dot create element, by it can create new element, document dot text content, document dot inner text, inner HTML. So there are many inbuilt methods which we can use inside DOM to manipulate it. So that's all.
Okay. So well answered. Simply when you are asked to manipulate, it means you need to change some functionalities inside any document object. You can change it by create as told by Karan, and also you can add some add event listeners and all those properties which are already in the existence of JavaScript. Okay. So now let's move to Amit. Amit, your question is, can you explain the concept of DOM tree and DOM nodes?
Yes, okay. So what are DOM trees and what are DOM nodes? Firstly, what is DOM tree? So DOM tree, as early member said that DOM tree is a representation of our actual web page. Whatever we write, but how is the structure of our web page? It is actually shown as a object type, or we can treat it as a tree. So tree has one trunk and then different branches spread through it. So similarly, we have one document, and through that we can actually have different branches which represent the actual node. So, and secondly, what is nodes? Nodes are the elements on the Java.
Okay, so well answered. Let me summarize. Document object model is just the programming interface for HTML and XML documents. And when it comes to node, elements node, it represents HTML or XML elements that can
Structure
have
is your,
attributes.
yeah, so
And
like structure is the, sorry,
yeah,
and yeah, and the,
okay. So well answered by Amit. So yeah, I was there on element nodes represent the XML or HTML elements which can have attributes and contain other elements or text. Okay, so these are the DOM tree and DOM nodes. So here we are done with the first round. Let's move on to the next round. Okay, so the question again goes to Kritika Di. Kritika, can you tell me how is event propagation handled in the DOM?
Okay. So in there are different events that we can handle in the DOM, like add event listener is a simpler form. So inside the add listener, if it is a click event, we will mention what type of an event is first, whether click or submit, what kind of an event. Then we will continue with the function. So inside the function, it will be anonymous, like arrow function. We will use it over there. Inside the function, what we want to perform over there, we can make it there. So in before that we can if it is we want to call any particular element in the HTML we have to call it out here. We can call by element by tag or class or ID, whatever we want. We can call it out and we can perform this event over here.
Yeah,
And
right.
also one more thing also here, on click event. On click is directly we will use inside the HTML tag. We will use on click, and for that whatever function we are mentioning, the function name, that variable function name we are giving, that one we will implement inside the script to perform the particular function, like function name and whatever the performance of the function inside the
Yeah,
curly brace.
exactly. You're right. Okay. So my next question goes to Karan. Karan, can you tell me how can I select a particular tag which is already there in my HTML document and I want to cache them in JavaScript? What are the methods?
Okay, so there are several methods which we can use to select or to choose any HTML tag inside JavaScript so that we can manipulate it through DOM or any other method. So there are several methods. First of all, there are query selectors. How we can use it, I will give you a simple syntax of that. Like first of all, we have to announce a variable like let element is equals to document dot query selector, and inside parenthesis we can select anything. Like we can select ID or we can select classes also, and we can select tags also. Like we can simply write whatever tag we need. Like we want any form tag, so we can simply write a form. And if we want a class, so for class we will write dot. First of all, we will write, because in CSS also we will note dot for classes. We will use dot in the class name. Then I for ID it is hashtag. And there are other methods also, like we can also use select by tag name, and it is also a method to select any tag. Then there are get element by ID, get element by class name, and there is also query selector all, which will give us whole array of the objects Then these are different methods through which we can select any HTML tag inside JavaScript so that we can manipulate it with the help of DOM. And why it is helpful? So it is helpful if we want to change anything with the help of DOM, like we want to change any text content of any element. Like if we have a element like h1 element and we want to change the text of it whenever we click on a button, so we will select that h1 tag also inside JavaScript with the help of class or id, whatever we want to choose. Then we also select that button also, or we can create another button inside JavaScript only. So then we can select those with the help of query selector or get element by id, anything. Then we can manipulate it with the help of DOM. So that's all.
Okay, well answered. There are several methods. Firstly, we can catch them by element, by their tag names, by classes, by IDs, and also we can use two more things, that is query selector and query selector on. Okay, so now let's move to Mahin. Mahin, your question is, what are object methods in JavaScript and why they are useful?
So my question is that what is object method? Okay, so let me give you answer. So object methods are the function inside the object when we want to give any functionality. In object we have two things. First is property and second thing is object method. In property we just simply store any data, or in object method we store any function to inside the object key. So this is what the object method, and how it is useful. When like I have a when a user come and want to access the password of the particular of inside the object whatever I have set. So I don't want to give anyone to just display it when anyone do just like a console.log object, and so I don't want to increase there directly. I want to hide it from the directly access. So I just simply use the function whenever user do like a object dot whatever key I have give as a function as a key to that particular function object dot password of my key name. So it just simply print out on whatever program I have, right? I can use instead of directly use that I can give it separately, and this is the benefit of the using object method.
Okay, so well answered. Object method is simply a function which is already written inside your object. Okay. So now let's move to Amit. Amit, your question, what are objects and what are its benefits?
Okay, so object in JavaScript is a non-primitive data type. It is made up of the primitive data type like strings, numbers, and booleans. So we can initiate an object with by using curly brackets. So you can assign a variable and assign it to declare a variable and assign it to curly brackets. That is an object. And inside object you can have multiple keys, and that keys can hold any kind of data type. It can be a number, boolean, arrays, or other objects as well. So and functions as well. So in simple words, objects are data types.
Okay, so objects in JavaScript are simply data types, non-primitive data type that can hold any kind of data in a key value form. So you can declare an object by simply using a parenthesis. Curly braces. So inside curly braces, you can have multiple keys, and that keys can hold any kind of other data like an array or number or boolean or a function or another objects as well. So these were objects. Where can you use an object? So there are use cases where you cannot use monotonous or monologous data types like array or strings, but you want a structured data type. So there you can use objects. So object has a like this property that using that property you can access any value using the key itself. So this is the use cases where you can use objects, and the benefits are like same. You cannot access every element by any index. You can only use the keys of that element. So these were the benefits, and the examples are like you can have one object, and that object inside that object you can introduce multiple keys. Either you can do it while initiating the object itself, or you can do it after the initiation. Like you can define an empty object, and on the next line you can assign or introduce any key. Like you can name the object and dot key, and then you can assign the values. So by doing this, it is called like dynamically introducing the keys inside your object. So you can either do it while declaration or after the declaration. So these are the syntaxes that you can use, and yeah, that's all about object.
Okay, well answered by you. An object is a collection of properties, and the property is an association with a name and key value pairs. In simple words, okay? Well answered by Amit. Now let's move to the third round, because third round will be a practical round. So please pause the recording. Okay, guys. I hope we are done with the 2 rounds. Now it's time for practical. So just warm up your hands and your fingers to run on your keyboards. Please turn on your VS Code in your background, and I will ask you questions one by one. So first we will start with Kritika Di. Kritika Di, please share your screen with your VS Code opened.
Stop the record, Vishal.
Please stop the recording.
You can see.
Okay, so this is the screen of Kritika Di, and my question to Kritika Di is very simple, that she has to create a nav bar and a simple like dummy website using only JavaScript. She shall be creating it using, like, she can create the tags. She have to create the tags using JavaScript and style them and make a nav bar using only JavaScript and CSS inside the JavaScript only. There will be no use of HTML. Okay.
Okay, I just create a simple number using HTML and CSS, but I'm not sure with how to do with the script. So this is what I done.
Okay. So it is also a second method of creating a nav-bar. That's far than more than enough. And creating with the help of JavaScript, I will assign this task to my viewers. Don't use any HTML and CSS and create something known as with JavaScript only. You have to create a simple navbar using only JavaScript, no use of HTML and CSS. Let's see how many of you are able to answer. So it's your task. By the way, it is the second method by Kritika. Don't cheat the code. Okay. So now it's turn of Mahi. Kritika, please stop sharing your screen. Yeah. Mahi, you share your screen.
Okay, my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so my boilerplate is done. Okay, tell me my task.
Okay. You have to simply create a function on a button. That function should trigger whenever someone clicks on the button, and there should be a pop-up message that you have been logged in.
Okay, and then like a log thing. Okay. Okay, I do. Okay, so okay, so my task was create a button and run the function over that button, and when a button is clicked, so there will be alert like a pop-up, so like a you are logging. So let me show you my whatever I have built. So this is a according to your requirement. I have built the one login. When you click at that, you are like you get a pop-up like a you are login. When you click on OK, so you also see like the text of inner of the button also change like you are now you can logged out. So this is what my task or I have completed.
Okay, well solved. So you guys can also create the same thing, and I want you guys to create a logged out function like the way she has created. I want you guys to create a form with login and logout functionality. We want to see your answers in the chat box. Now it's turn of Amit. Amit, please share your screen. Okay. So your question is to create a simple slider for our viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, the slider has been created with by Amit. So Amit, I want you to explain how did you created it?
Yeah, thank you. So I first created one div inside div, and that div is actually acting as a container for my image tag, and in image tag I have this primary 𝗍𝗶𝗶. So that is my first image, and I have these two buttons. So first button will invoke this handle previous in function, where I am just decreasing the index, which is my I have this array first of all, which is including all the images sources. So when I click on handle previous, so that first I am decrementing the index, which is initially 0, so it is decrementing, and then I'm taking the link or the image link from that array, and I'm adding it, assigning it to the source attribute of that image. So this is doing that, and similarly I have this handle next function, which is doing the opposite. It is first incrementing the index, which was initially 0, so it is incrementing to 1, 2. That is like, and now again I'm changing the image source to the as the element of our current array. So this like this, whenever I click on handle next, then next button, then handle next invokes, and we are firstly incrementing the index and setting the current array element to the image source, and vice versa with the handle previous button. So by this my slider is working. So next is taking the next images, and previous is taking the previous images. Okay, yeah.
So well answered. So now your task, audience, is this, that whenever the very first image comes, I want previous button to be disabled, and when the last image comes, I want the next button to be disabled. I want your answers in the chat box. Okay. So now it's turn of Karan. Karan, please share your screen. Stop the recording.
Stop the recording, Mani. Wait a second.
Okay. So your question is similar to Kritika. You have to create a dummy website using only JavaScript, but
Okay.
not a nav bar. I want you to
Done.
create a footer.
Yeah. Okay, so my task is to create a footer with the help of JavaScript only. Like I don't have to use any HTML. So what I have done, I make one root element, one root tag, one root element inside our HTML, so that I can append everything inside that. Then I give it a class root. Then what I have done, I select that class inside JS, so that I can I can change that, or I can dynamically change that with the help of DOM. So I created, then I selected, and I use one method dot inner HTML, which helps us to create HTML inside JavaScript. So then simply I just create all the tags that we can simply make. So there are two methods through which we can create element inside JavaScript. First, there is create element, like document.create element, which is a long method, because you have to give a particular div or every p tag again and again. But this is a simpler way. You can simply just write the whole HTML inside JavaScript with the help of inner HTML, and you can append all the things. So that's how it is simply appended. As you can see, this is my footer, and I give it some inline styling also inside this. You can see. So this is inline styling, and that's how I do that.
Okay. So well done, Karan. Though it is a shortcut of creating, now I want you guys to create something more exciting using only JavaScript, no use of HTML and CSS, which will enhance your thinking, because creating something using only JavaScript is quite challenging, but it's not impossible. So here we have come to the end of the meet, and I would request you guys as well to practice all the questions whichever I have asked with these guys. And also till then, keep healthy, keep yourself healthy, and stay tuned with us and keep learning, keep growing. One lesson to you is this, that failure cannot decide that you are not perfect or you are not going to be perfect in future. Failure is something the part of success, because failure means that you are not starting from the beginning, but you are starting again with the experience, and you will hit it more harder. So don't stop when you fail in anything. Just keep learning and keep growing. Life can be challenging, but it's not impossible for anyone to bring out, or to bring out himself with the flying colors. because even the word impossible says I am possible. So with this, I would like to end up the meet. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Subscribe the channel and
Bye
fill out the
guys.
if you want to be the part of this meet. Bye bye.
Bye guys. Bye bye.